Hello everyone, it is Deja. I am back again for another episode of Stemming It Up with Deja. And I am representing as Miss Texas County here in Mexico, Missouri for Miss Missouri Week. And I am so excited to be here. I am staying here in a dorm with all the rest of the contestants at the Missouri Military Academy. So I'm so grateful that they allow us to be on campus to experience this week with each other. So in the first episode, we talked about how to define success and what that is for you. And in the second episode, we talked about how to go about getting a career in STEM and how to get the correct curriculum you need for your education if you want to go into trades or if you want to go to a university and pursue a STEM degree. I thought this third episode should be about how to remain being yourself and being uniquely you once you get into the career field that you want, or if you're entering into a career field that you want to be in. This week has been so great, and it has made me realize that everything I advocate for and the advice I give people and the information I put out here to try to better the lives of those who want to go down the same path that I went down as far as STEM or trades, or even if it's in another career that you really want, you just don't know how to go about it. And I am living that. And so it is great that I get to experience what I talk about. The Miss America organization is great at having so many diverse women from all over the state and all over the country who are establishing their own pathways in their own ways, and are doing it unapologetically while being themselves. And even if you feel like you don't fit the mode of the job, the career, or whatever you see yourself doing in the future, I am here to give you the motivation and tell you to keep going on and to be yourself. You define who you are, you define your success, and you define that pathway. And you don't need to look like anyone else to be successful. You don't need to sound like anyone else to be successful. And you don't need to mimic anyone else to be successful. We all have our own lives. We all have our own pathways. And you need to define yours and lay it out the best way that you see fit. I had my interview today, and when I got back from it, I thought it over and I was like, I am so happy that I was able to represent myself and be myself. I never thought I'd ever get into pageants, ironically, because I never felt like I fit the stereotypical pageant, mode. But this organization has shown me that you don't need to fit any mode to enact the change or enact whatever you see fit. You just have to be yourself, and people will follow along with something that's authentic. That's what we're missing nowadays, is a real authenticity to things. And this brings me to my next point of why diversity is so important in so many different situations, and specifically with what I advocate for, which is STEM and trades and women being involved in these careers. So many innovative things have happened in our world, and it has been because a diverse group of people have defined their own pathways and innovated something in the way that they saw fit. And now we live our lives the way we do because of this. Can you imagine if one person was controlling everything in the world? That's not to say that good things wouldn't happen, but it would slow down a lot of progress that we have. And if we can all come together and respect each other's skill sets, respect each other's opinions, and try to meet a common goal, a lot of changes could be done to our world that could be very positive for the people that live in it. The motto I love to live by is that it's never too late to start. I felt like I joined in on my career path very late because I was confused on what I wanted to do. I didn't have enough information, and I didn't understand a lot of the processes of getting into trades and getting into STEM, and especially being a woman of color. I never felt like that was a world that would invite me in and like me. And I have had some negative, issues with being in this world. But that does not outweigh the good, and it does not outweigh the change that I am enacting, the change that I am trying to see through, because it is all about making the pathway easier for the women and men, anyone who is coming behind me, to be just as successful, if not more, That way they can push it on to the next person. This video is here to motivate you, to encourage you to pursue your dreams, chase those goals, and in return, help someone else out and, help other people figure out how to define their own success. One thing that I personally believe is that we're all put on this planet to accomplish something, and you might not know what it is yet, and sometimes it takes a while. I didn't know that this was going to be the career I went into. I didn't know that I was going to be on stage performing for complete strangers. I didn't know I was going to build so many relationships and network and put myself in a position to be able to advocate for something so important. And yet here I am, and I am exorbitant as much as I can. And I want you to know that you can do the exact same thing. It doesn't have to be STEM, and it doesn't have to be trades. It doesn't have to be pageantry. It could be whatever you want it to be. You just have to take that first step and take a little bit of initiative and be okay to fail a little bit. Be okay to make some mistakes. Sometimes I'm not able to convey the things I want to say the proper way, but yet here I am continuing on to speak to you guys and show you that this can be you. Like I said, it doesn't have to be pageantry, but this could be you speaking about whatever you want, advocating for something that's dear to your heart. And I love coming on here and talking with you guys because I noticed somebody that is in the position I was in. You felt a little timid. You felt like you didn't belong. You felt like you weren't going to accomplish a lot. And you just didn't understand why things weren't lining up. It gets better. I promise it does. You just have to keep on going. You have to keep on pushing. And remember, there is always someone out there that believes in you and wants to see you do good. And if nobody tells you that, remember it came from me. I believe in you. So thank you so much. Turn the volume up a little bit. I am in the dorm. I didn't want to be too loud, but it was on my mind and I couldn't go to sleep. I had to get on here and speak to you guys. If you have any other ideas or any topics that you want me to talk about on STEM It Up with Deja, gladly leave a comment, DM me, send me a message. I will try to make as many more videos. And once again, that is something that I am working on because I am a student in school still. I have a full-time job and I advocate and, I am part of pageantry, but that is part of the job, being able to multitask. And I am willing to talk about and answer so many questions that you guys have. So thank you all for the support. Thank you all for reaching out and talking with me and encouraging me, because as I motivate you all, it is so great to be motivated back. So thank you so much. And I am so excited to finish the week. Thanks for spending the time with me.